Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. So to the side of me over here, we actually have the beautiful 2024 Dark Horse here that has all this carbon going on around it. As you can see, the front is all carboned out. Hood, fenders, even the intakes. The last couple videos you guys have been seeing, we're actually adding some carbon fiber finally to the interior here. So we actually started off with the driver's side over here with the steering wheel. Super happy on how that turned out. Then we actually made our way to the passenger side over here with this beautiful carbon fiber vent there. But we're actually going to go ahead and be moving back to the driver's side today. So the piece that we're actually going to go ahead and be installing is actually go ahead and be this vent on this side. As you can go ahead and see, we had the vent on the other side. Now it's time to add this side again. And you can go ahead and see the black pony there as well. So let's go ahead and actually pull out that part. It's still boxed in, so let's go ahead and get that out. So before we actually show you guys what EOS has to offer, let's go ahead and look at this other product that we have on the Shelby GT500 here, which is an overlay version. Now, definitely overall, the fitment looks pretty good. However, you could definitely, after taking a closer look, see there are just a little bit that's not covered correctly. And personally, that is what I found on overlay installs. You go ahead and see this piece here, which we installed recently. Super clean, covers everything you want it to cover. And I'm definitely expecting the same results on this vent over here. That being said, let's go ahead and open up the box. So after opening up the box here, obviously we're talking about carbon fiber, so they do their best to package everything to protect it. We had one piece there. We also had this other piece wrapped around. And then finally, it is actually wrapped up in this piece here, so we can pull it out. And first impressions, this thing looks super clean, just like the other parts. The gloss is perfect. Let's go ahead and show you guys. All right, so just actually picking up the piece here because not really a lot of sun, but go ahead and see how glossy this piece is. And to flip it upside down to show you guys, this is not ABS plastic. This is not anything cheap. This is actual carbon fiber, so it fits and it's actually pretty flexible, so that way you can maneuver it the way you need to when doing the install. The link will go ahead and be in the description, but again, this is not ABS. This is actual carbon fiber, and the install method is the double-sided tape. So we'll go ahead and walk through that process. What you're gonna go ahead and need is some glass cleaner or any type of cleaner, all-purpose. With that being said, so that way you can go ahead and actually clean off any oils or any residues that you may have from interior cleaning at some point. So let's go ahead and get our final shots here before we actually install this carbon fiber piece. Alright, so first things first, go ahead and get your cleaner. Again, whatever you're going to use to remove any type of oils or residue or anything at all, and clean up the area that we're going to go ahead and be installing. So it's actually going to go ahead and be this whole piece here and around. And after you clean that up, now you go ahead and start peeling off all of the double-sided tape here, so that way we can go ahead and slide this on. So after you take off all of the piece there covering the double-sided tape, go ahead and see it's very thin, so that way it's not bulky or anything like that. It just slides over. And when it's designed, it is designed obviously to have that tape, so that way the fitment is A1. With that being said, let's go ahead and start to slide this over. You go ahead and see, looking at this corner piece is actually what it's going to go ahead and go over to the edge there around the screen. That's very important because you have to kind of wedge it around like that, and we should start being able to just slide it up. One thing for sure, where you want to make sure your alignment starting at is actually going to be on these edges here. At the same time, just kind of having to wiggle it around that screen. And after you have it pretty much lined up where you want it, you can start to actually press down. Again, I like to start in the edge here, the part that's the most visible. So that way it's the easiest part to line up, and then you kind of just push it inward to where you need it to line up. If you do have some issues where maybe it's too cold where you're at, definitely consider heating up, whether it be a blow dryer or whether it be actual heat gun. So that way it just makes that sticky effect a little bit better, and when it presses down, it spreads that double-sided tape there a little bit more. But for my sake, I did not have any issues at all. Mine went ahead and stuck perfectly fine here, and you go ahead and see no gaps, none of that. It just looks completely flush here. Trying to show you guys the best I can here, and then the gloss is just shining through right now. All right, so now focusing on the after, you go ahead and definitely see the gloss really sticks out, getting closer. And as we get closer, you can definitely see the carbon fiber weave just again shining through right here. So again, a huge shout out to EOS, aka Extreme Online Store, for having these products that they just fit perfect. You don't have any issues. It makes it super easy for install. You don't have to clean up afterwards. Very minimal cleanup. And that is just one piece of the interior carbon fiber for the 2024s that they offer. Again, we have the steering wheel there. We also have the vent on the other side, and there's still more to come, so definitely check that out. Link for this vent is going to go ahead and be in the description. Check out the other videos if you want to go ahead and see how those came out. So I definitely feel like this little piece here adds a lot of character to the inside of the car, especially because that's what you're looking at while you're driving. With that being said, definitely consider subscribing and help out a lot, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Again, check out any of the other videos if you want to check out some more carbon fiber. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys. All right, you guys know the drill. We got a new carbon fiber piece installed. Time to go ahead and get a cold start, and let's go ahead and get a road test. All right, so I just took a bunch of pictures out here in the rain. Now definitely look on Instagram for those, because I think those actually came out really clean. But let's go ahead and get back on the road here. I gotta say, this car actually does pretty good in the rain, not gonna lie, but still always you know, a Mustang in the rain is never the best idea. But I can tell you right now, this is the best looking car on the road right here. So that was close. With that being said, I definitely want to go ahead and say, if you guys made it to this part of the video, I definitely appreciate you guys very, very much. So this is actually what the full carbon fiber interior looks like. I'm super happy with everything, but again, every product has its own video, so definitely stay tuned for that. As far as the Dark Horse goes, she has been performing amazing. Super happy with the car overall. At the end of the day, we still need to get this back on the dyno after we had fixed the issue with the actual O2 sensors. If you guys do recall, it did make actually 750 wheel horsepower when it actually had those issues with the O2 sensor, so it should actually be pushing a little bit more, but definitely need to get it back on the dyno, so stay tuned for that. So I definitely appreciate you guys again. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay tuned for all the 1320 stuff, as well as when we get this thing back on the dyno.